Instagram followers without the Instagram algorithm. We want to help get your Instagram more reach from Google, believe it or not. And here's how. In this video, we're covering the influence of Google and Instagram online marketing, including answering two burning questions. What can content creators expect from Instagram's new shift in content discovery? And what social media tips can help you benefit from the new Google influence on Instagram content? So let's get into it today as we help you step your gram up, as we always do on the latest episode of the Social Roundtable. Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great and glorious Monday. It's a great day. We have a little bit of a change in our program. It's just myself and Megan here today, but we are still going to be bringing you some great information and insight and having some fun along the way doing so. So I hope that you guys are ready. As always, like I just said, we have Megan, my co-host here. What's going on, Megan?
Hello, happy Monday. This is such an exciting topic today, really diving into what's going to really project you into that next level for your Instagram. And if you follow along with these tips and the strategies we're sharing, then you're going to find that you're going to stand out in your niche and be that go-to person. So that's exactly what we want for you, and we're excited to help you get there.
Yes, and making you stand out is going to be one of the key things we're going to be talking about today as we talk about this brand new announcement that Instagram is now allowing your content to show up on not just Google, but search engines in general. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. We already have a few questions from you guys in the live chat, as well as we got questions for you guys. I've sent a poll for you guys to go ahead and check out in the live chat for only our live viewers. But if you are catching the replay, you could answer this question as well. Let me read it out here for you. The question is, would you want your Instagram content to be found on Google? Believe it or not everybody wants that. There are some people that might feel a certain way about it, and we'll even tell you a little bit more of the information in regards to the idea of privacy around your content. We'll get into that in a little moment, but we're going to get into it in our full conversation. Just want to say shout out to you guys. We have our incredible moderator in the live chat right now. Angela, I see you. Welcome. Thank you so much for holding it down in the live chat. Some of our favorite viewers here joining us as well. Thank you guys for joining us once again on this live episode of the Social Roundtable. Like I said, we're doing things a little bit different. No guests today. Just myself, Megan, and we're not going to cut any BS. We're getting right into it, Megan. Right? We're going to get right into this topic. We have some tips to share with you guys, and I have my first question for Megan that we're going to talk about. Are you ready, Megan?
I'm so ready.
Awesome. Well, for those that don't know, starting July 10th, 2025, for those that are watching, that was last week. Google and other search engines can now index public Instagram posts from professional accounts. And when I say professional accounts, I'm talking about business and creator accounts. This means your Instagram content, like carousels, reels, single images, and more, could start appearing in Google search results. So, my first question to you, Megan, is what can content creators expect from Instagram's new shift in content discovery?
Well, it's something that I think is going to happen kind of in spurts for people, depending on the content that they're sharing and depending on the fact that there's a backlog of content that Google is taking to index into their search engine and really load everything into whatever works for them with their algorithm. And Instagram's connections as well. So it is going to take a little while here and there, but we can expect to see more followers or more people finding your page through various sources. So, you're going to have a wider range, I think, of age of people who are finding you, and people who have a wider interest in different niches. So it's not just relying on the Instagram algorithm or your other platforms that you're using. So if you're getting followers from your YouTube or TikTok or whatever, you're not necessarily relying just on that. You're relying now on, well, you're not really relying. You're able to also include Google searches or any search engine as a way for people to find you, which is incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, just the idea that we've been creating, I don't know, I find it a little weird that we've been creating content for this long and we weren't able to get our content found on search engines prior. Now that they've opened the door to this, I feel like this is a whole new level of discovery for most content creators. I just want to remind you guys, in case we didn't state this at the top, we mentioned this because we brought up this topic when we were speaking with Grow with it was our little side subject on our topic. And one of the things we make sure to clarify for those that are a little bit concerned about their content being out there, this only works for professional accounts. That means business and creator accounts. And not only just from those accounts, but it has to be public content. So if you have like an IG subscription, that content is obviously hidden behind the wall. So that type of content won't be seen on Google search results or any search engine for that matter. So it has to be public. But this is great news, as you said, Megan. I think creators have a brand new way of being discovered, being found. I think personally, from an engagement point of view, I think we're going to start seeing more saves and shares. I think those are going to increase because when people are searching for a type of content, let's just say I'm searching for a Christmas gift, and I come across somebody who put together a Christmas list, top 25 things to buy for Christmas this year. Well, if I find that and it's on Instagram, I'm more inclined to save it because I might save it for a later time, or I might share it with somebody else who's also looking to purchase a Christmas gift around that time. So I think some of those engagement types, those factors are gonna really increase. Not too much with comments. I don't think if you find content from a stranger that you're necessarily gonna comment in the feed, but I definitely feel like saves and shares will increase. And as like you said, Megan, following is going to increase also. Like if you find something that you definitely kind of connect with from a content creator or just their content, you're more inclined now to follow from outside of Instagram where you found it to now on Instagram. So it's a game changer to me. Anything else you wanted to add in regards to this?
I think you're spot on with the fact that saves and shares are more likely to increase than comments and even likes, I would say, because you got to think about the user is this isn't, set. There's going to be people using all the devices while they're searching, but more likely they're probably on a desktop if they're searching with Google.
Yeah.
I mean, not more than a mobile, but the user is likely to be on Instagram on their phone. But if they are, using Google, they're probably using a desktop. So they are not necessarily thinking about it the same way. I think it will take time for us to start to see that user behavior to change. And you're also, like I said, the age difference might be a little bit more dramatic. So they may not use Instagram as much. Maybe they're not logged in on their desktop. So that could be a factor as well.
That's a really good point. That might be something for us to have to consider as content creators. If we are getting those views, they might not necessarily be logged in, or maybe there's some form of transition between Google to Instagram to make it much easier. I know with the power of deep links, you're able to do that. Maybe if they were to incorporate deep links, and for those that don't know what deep links are, deep links it's a regular URL. It looks like a regular string of characters that leads you from one page to another, but on a mobile phone, let's just say that URL, 'cause I use deep links all the time. When I promote my YouTube videos on Instagram, when somebody clicks that link, it opens up the YouTube app. So instead of just opening up a browser on Instagram where we know you're not logged in to YouTube, it opens up the app where you are most likely logged in, and you could follow my channel right then and there. So maybe Instagram would have something along those lines on Google. So when you find a search result on Google, it opens up Instagram. That would be really amazing if it did it that way, because that way you could definitely interact easier and hopefully follow as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that TikTok has an advantage there because TikTok does have a
Mm.
desktop app. So I know, like, when I'm doing research and I click on a TikTok, it does open up my TikTok app on my computer, which doesn't have to rely on, like the fact that maybe your Safari or Google or whatever logged you out. So that is kind of a plus there. Hopefully Instagram catches on.
Yeah, right. I really do. Hopefully, that's something else for them to borrow from
Yeah.
TikTok. We'll see what happens in the future. I see a question in the live chat I want to ask, but before I do, just want to remind you guys, if you're watching, please support us It's as simple as hitting two buttons. It's the like button that lets the people know, lets the algorithm know that you're enjoying this content, and it helps that this video gets shown to more people. So if you're enjoying the content that we're sharing with you guys, the insight, the information, please hit the like button. And if you want more content like this from myself and Megan, the best way to do that is to simply hit the subscribe button on our channel. You'll be able to follow along every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this same weekly series, the Social Roundtable. Usually, we have a guest join us to talk about some of your most popular topics that you want to learn more about, whether it's digital marketing, content creation, automation, social media strategy in general. We usually have a conversation with one other guest, but today we're keeping it a little bit small, a little bit intimate with just us, myself, and Megan, and you guys watching. So we definitely appreciate your presence and would also appreciate your support with a like and a subscribe. I want to read this question that we got from Greg. Greg said, so do you think it will really make a difference? Or will it be another way to pay to be seen? Um, as of now, I haven't heard of any incentive to pay to get more views. I'm really hoping I don't hear that because I think that's changing the dynamics of this of search. We know that when on a Google search results, there's the first few links is sponsored, and then you'll find a couple other links that are sponsored as well. Now those are the one content that you usually pay for. I don't believe Google is going to create some form of option where you could pay them to show your content from social media. I really hope it doesn't go that far because I don't feel like that's going to be successful. How about you, Megan?
I would agree. And plus, they would be, mixed on who gets paid, right? Are we paying Instagram or are we paying the search engine to be the one that pushes it up? I think that would be hard. Let's be honest, they are businesses after all. I'm sure they're going to find some way to make money off of it, but I don't think that it is necessarily going to be a pay to play kind of thing. I mean, I haven't paid anything, and when I do my search on mine, I have a lot of videos that come up. So as of now, we're good.
Yes, as of now, but you never know how the tides may change in the future. Unfortunately, social media, if anything we know, is fast and things could change one day to the other. So hopefully, keep our fingers crossed that that doesn't occur. But take advantage of it now. It's Megan kind of stated she's been testing it out, searching for content on Google, and she's been finding it. You could go ahead and do the exact same. Go ahead and put in a few keywords that you know that you use. Use your name and see what comes back. I actually just did it before this live, Megan, because I remembered our conversation. I did it, and I found a few of my own content, mostly reels. I was very surprised. It was mostly reels that came back, which is a good thing. I'm hoping to see it even out between reels and carousels, but hey, the algorithm on Google found my content, and if anybody was searching for a particular content that I created, they would be able to find it right then and there, like we're discussing. But I've put in the practice. There's certain strategies that I've done, and Megan as well. And what we want to do now is jump right into what some of those strategies are so that you could practice the same things that we've done to help get your content on these search engines and be discovered. So I'm going to lead off to my next question, Megan, in regards to our main topic that we're discussing here today, to get your Instagram more reach from Google. And we're saying Google, but we're talking about all search engines. Yahoo, Alta Vista, that's if that's still around. Like we're talking about them all. So I want to jump into this next one. We're pretty much talking about the what of the incredible news that kind of just happened last week in regards to search engines like Google, Bing, and Alta Vista now being able to show your content. The big question is how do we get them to do that so we can increase our reach and more? So let's have a little bit of fun with some strategies that we've both done, Megan. And the question is, what social media tips should we practice to benefit from Google's new influence on Instagram content?
Yes, right. Because it's a cool update, but how do we actually get those benefits? So important. And something that I think is important to state is that there's no way for us to 100% track, like if the things we're doing step by step are the number one thing that's resulting in being found on Google. Like so far, we don't have those connected insights. But that being said, I think eventually will be able to see like where things are sourced, and hopefully it gets better with deeper insights. And ultimately, we know that Google is based on keywords. Google is based on what people are actually typing into search versus an algorithm of showing content that they're likely to be interested in. They are, there to give you what you searched for. Give or take, sometimes, yes, there is the tracking, right? So there is tracking and cookies and all of that. But yes, they are very focused on the words you're using, the keywords. So when it comes to optimizing your chances of being found on Google, one, making sure you're public and that you have that professional account. I would even make sure that the setting is turned on for you. It should naturally be turned on if you are public and have a professional account, but make sure you go into your settings and privacy, and where you can turn your profile to public, it should be right there. And with that, making sure that you're using these keywords, and keywords are common words that are being used around like the topics of your content. What is your target audience using when they are talking about your content and what you post about? What are they searching for? What are these specific words that describe what you do and what you talk about? So for me, Instagram growth, like they can be phrases, marketing, content creation, that type of stuff. And they're ranked on the popularity. So it's not thinking about the language you use, right? Like I would say content strategy. And yes, that is a keyword, key phrase, but it may not be as popular as Instagram growth or what to post for growth, like these phrases that people are searching for. So using these phrases and keywords in your profile itself, so in your bio, in your name, not necessarily your handle. Yes, that can help, but you don't have to. Your name, your bio, in the captions of your posts, in your hashtags, yes, but really the captions, and making sure that you're also using text on screen. So if you're doing carousels, even if it's photos, there's fun ways to add like text on your photos. Or if you're doing reels, making sure you don't just have closed captions on, but you also add text on screen. We're not just doing hooks anymore. We're kind of adding text throughout that video to include more keywords without keyword stuffing, right? We're not just randomly throwing words on screen. Make it make sense and bring people along that journey in your story. But adding as many as you can throughout to make sense and not feel like you're keyword stuffing.
You hit a lot of great points right there. There's two I want to jump on in regards to. First off, the comment or the concept of keyword stuffing. For those that don't know what keyword stuffing is, because this is something that applies kind of to every social media platform right now, particularly Instagram and YouTube. Keyword stuffing is taking a bunch of those common phrases and words, like Megan described, that people are more likely to search for, but just putting them all together, like maybe one big paragraph. I know if you guys are familiar, they used to do that with the hashtags, but they used to put it like in the bottom of the caption. It'll just be like 30 hashtags that relate to the content. Well, keyword stuffing is pretty much take out the hashtag part of the word, and it's just those same words without the hashtag. And they're so creative with it, Megan, nowadays. Like I even heard somebody say that they put it in IG stories or reels, but they take all of the words and then they hide it. It's like it's not on the screen, or they put it behind something that's on the screen. Instagram has stated they are aware of that, and they actually downgrade your content when they discover that. So you do not want to do that. Your content would not be displayed. Also, the other thing that you mentioned, and I think is really important, the account privacy aspect of what you were discussing, where you have to give Instagram permission. Now, I believe for the most part, I think it's on by default. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's on by default. But in case you want to verify, I actually wrote down exactly where you would find it. So from your Instagram profile, you would tap the settings menu, which is the three lines in the top right of your page. You're going to tap on account privacy. And on that page, you're going to find allow public photos and videos to appear in search engine results. You're going to want to have this checked so that you're opted in, so that Instagram allows Google and these other search engines to index, which is pretty much them looking at your page and then storing that information. So you can turn that off if you don't want them to do that. But I think everybody watching right now is of the mind that they want their content to be found on Google and all of these other search engines. Um, Great advice, Megan. I think a lot of those are, we've been talking about them mostly from an Instagram point of view, but now that Google has opened up and is searching and is searching Instagram for some of this content, it just doubles down on what we've been doing for the past few months and years of using SEO on Instagram, because now everything we've been doing on Instagram, SEO wise, will be applicable for the search engines.
Yes, exactly. And I do want to state that this like new change or update, like before it was made, I could still find Instagram content from doing Google searches. So it's not like you couldn't. It's just now, if you go to Google specifically, again, I use Google, I don't use the other search engines. So there's now a tab that's not just video, but there's a short video tab. So it's showing you like Google is also saying, hey, we want to show more short form content because, well, Google, YouTube, they want to make sure they're giving the consumer what they're looking for and what they enjoy. So it's now that there's going to be a better chance you show up and that it's getting put into the overall search results, not just a random chance that maybe your content will be found. It's actually going to be a priority for Google to be putting these short form videos and hopefully carousels and stuff up.
Yes, definitely. I want to add on to a little bit. I said a question here in the live chat. Um, Here's a good question. So Google will be checking highlighted words / keywords. Pretty much what we're stating here is absolutely Google will be looking for these type of keywords that we're suggesting. Now, when you say highlighted, I don't know if you mean like literally highlighted. It's like it's the yellow with border and it stands out from the other text. They won't look for it visually unless you're, I won't even get into that. That's a whole other complicated subject. As far as I'm looking at it, and this was going to be one of my tips, Megan. I would love to know what you think about this. As you guys can tell, we don't share our information before the show. Sometimes we had the same things on our list. Megan has shared a couple of things I was going to share. That's just the way that it is. But I want to share this particular topic with you. I don't think you've heard it yet. I think the way we have to look at it as the YouTube personification of Instagram. I think Instagram is taking a lot of lessons and is learning from YouTube um, in a way that's going to help the platform and overall help us as content creators. And what I mean by that is this SEO new way of being found on search engines is just that's a YouTube and Google power play. They've been doing it for years. And one of the greatest benefits of it, and what we will see as Instagram content creators, because no one has really spoke about this yet, is the fact that our content is going to live so much longer now, because what we've been doing beforehand was, creating content that generally lives according to the Instagram algorithm. And the algorithm favors relevancy, but there's so much content that it's hard for you to put up content on a Monday and still have it being found very favorably by that Friday of that same week. Whereas with YouTube content, if you put up a video the 1st of January this year, it could still be found 5 years later and still be getting a lot of views, really depending on what that content is. Now, there's some content that is more favorable than others. People always look for money, real estate. That type of information is always timely. Some information is not. It's not evergreen. But depending on the type of content that you are creating, you could now increase the shelf life of your content that most people have never considered on Instagram. If you're creating content such as talk a discussion about money on Instagram, if somebody's in the next 2 years looking up tax information and your content answers that, they can now find that on Google and you'll still be getting views 2 years 2 decades later, and it just opens up the door. And I think a lot of great opportunities is going to come from this. I think we'll start to hear not only an increase in brand deals and what they offer, but I think it might be a way for Instagram to finally possibly start paying content creators better, because they're going to get more reach. They're talking about more reach for us, but at the end of the day, they're getting more ad views. And if there's more ad views, they can now start paying content creators a little bit more of what we should be getting paid. So I think that might be another opportunity as well.
That's a good point. I mean, definitely, I agree with the point of our content living longer, right? That's incredible. Very exciting news there. But yeah, getting paid more, getting paid different, having different, opportunities come through for your content. I'm interested because I always am signed in on my desktop. Do you still have to be logged into an account on Instagram in order to view some content, even like when it's public? Sometimes, if off chance I'm signed out,
That's a
I
good
go to
question.
click on it, it says create an account to view. And it's like, I know that it's public. So I'm wondering if that's probably going to help increase people signing up to Instagram if they're not, right? So that older demographic that might not be on Instagram might be tempted to sign up.
That's a good idea. I never really considered that. To tell you the truth, if it's not, it would be smart for them to make that change so that it is private, and then kind of enforces them to sign up and join Instagram. It would make more sense of why I see so many Instagram ads in the weirdest places, because I see
Right.
Instagram ads in like movie theaters and on TV, and I'm like, most of the people that are watching these are already on Instagram. It's like I don't understand, but
Exactly.
um, no, that's a really great point. I think it can be something that Instagram can be moving towards too. I just feel like them opening the doors to this new form of content discovery opens the world for content creators in unfathomable ways that we haven't yet even considered. And I think brands is going to be a key part in that, because now when brands come to you for an Instagram deal, that content can now be found for years later on other platforms. So I think if they were paying, for instance, they were paying you $100 before for a brand deal, I think you can now get back to them and say, you know what, this content I'm creating is not on Instagram. It's going to be found on other platforms. I have the numbers to prove it. So now I'm going to charge you 150 or 200, whatever it may be. You'll be more valuable. You and your content. So it's a win-win. Instagram is winning. The content creators is winning from this news. And ultimately, we want you as the viewer watching the Social Roundtable today to win as well. And I think a lot of the tips that we shared here today is going to help put you in that position. Megan, I'm going to go back to you just in case you had any others to share. I feel like we shared a lot of great tips for people to start using today to start getting the content out. Do you have anything else that you wanted to share, or anything last other tidbits in regards to this?
Well, if you're feeling lost on, what these keywords are for you, what is search engine optimization and how do you start to include it more? If I were you, I would start to actually just play around with Googling topics that you post about and list out, like keep an ongoing note or a spreadsheet, a document where you have keywords, relevant keywords just listed out there. What are you seeing the other top hits using for language? Also, my favorite, ChatGPT, literally every single day for almost everything. I mean, there's tons of different ways you can use ChatGPT to find those keywords. Go and find other leaders in your industry and see what words they are using. A good example here is, and this is because I come from the fitness world. And when I was a fitness coach, I really struggled with using words like get lean or like shredded or six pack abs, or I didn't like the idea of using that, or like slow metabolism, all these like clickbaity things that are on the top like front of magazine. However, it's important to use them because you're not being misleading if you're still continuing to tell them, the truth in the caption, and you're saying, okay, I know this is what you want, but the reality is X, Y, and Z is going to help you get there, not just this. Like, just
Yeah.
If you're struggling with using those really popular phrases because it doesn't feel right to you, one, you don't have to. But two, if you do want to find authentic ways to make it work into your content, I mean, make sure you're delivering the real value and you're using these words throughout, but not, again, keyword stuffing or misleading people.
Yes, I think that's a really great point to consider. You don't want to go that route because you will tarnish your brand name if you start to mislead people in a certain way. That's just no good. That's very hard to come back from. You
Yeah.
mentioned something that kind of remind me another aspect of what I'm calling the YouTuberification of Instagram. You mentioned the magazine covers. I think we got to start really strongly considering real covers and even carousel, the first slide. I think we have to start looking at them like a YouTube video and consider them thumbnails. As somebody who's jumped into YouTube the past couple of years, I've learned that the thumbnail is like a whole industry in its own. Just thumbnails. It's a science to thumbnails that is just so crazy when they talk about colors and layout and title, the size. I think we have to start considering our content from that point of view because now that we're going to be discoverable off platform as well, we want to make sure that we do capture that attention. If I like when I searched myself and I saw the images, luckily I've been using real covers this entire time. So if somebody was to search for Manychat, which I specialize in, and my reels come back and it has the word Manychat and whatever the content specifically relates to, I'm more likely of a better choice than somebody who just simply took a screenshot during that reel and just used that as the cover. I'm more likely of a choice. So we have to start thinking about the cover, how we present ourselves off of Instagram as well. So that's something to consider.
Wow. Yeah, that is a really good point. And I didn't think of that either, but that is super important, especially since there's that debate out there of do real covers matter? Do they not? And I mean, I feel like the pressure that people get when it comes to real covers, like it doesn't necessarily have to be the most aesthetic thing. However, you should work on that skill and, continue to improve the clarity of these covers and the way that your target audience is either going to be attracted or not to them. It is important. I mean, it's a billboard there, especially now on
Yeah.
Google. And to new audiences, if they don't know your face, they're not going to just click on it just because it's you. They don't know it's you. They don't care yet. So having those keywords and having the topic very clear is so important. It still can be a screen grab of that reel, but adding the specific title that you want on it is going to be very important.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, I think we dropped a lot of good nuggets for you guys in regards to this brand new news that we're discussing here today. Once again, you guys, if you guys have jumped in at any point of our conversation, as myself and Megan were talking, giving you guys some tips in regards to this new topic, we're talking about the latest news that just happened last week. Instagram content can now be found on Google and other search engines, which means if you have a business or a creator account on Instagram, your content can now be found by millions of people who are searching the number one search engine, Google, and all of its competitors from Bing. I keep bringing up Alta Vista. I don't even know why that's in my head. But any of those other ones, Yahoo search engines, they can now be found there. So imagine that we used to complain about our reach is low on Instagram, and this door now opened. I'm hoping we don't hear that as much. We might still have that complaint on Instagram. Because you mentioned like they'll have to change the insights, and I'm hoping they do. So they kind of showed, this was found on a search engine, and we know how many times. I'm hoping that this helps alleviate some of that problem that we used to get in regards to our reach, just in general.
Yes.
But time will tell. We will see. Awesome, awesome. I hope that you guys take a lot of these tips that we just shared here today. And as always, take them, run with it, practice them, test them out yourself. Get back to us, slide into our DMs, to let us know how they work out for you, and move forward so that you can step your gram up in the best way possible. We are pretty much at the end of our live. Normally, when we have a guest, we'll play a little game. We're not going to play the game today, but we'll save some time. If you guys have any questions, now is the time. For those that are watching live, Please post your questions in the live chat. We answered a couple of them already, but you may have some more. You might be shy. That's quite all right. Go ahead and post them in the live chat. We'll wait here for a couple of minutes to see if any pops up. But while you guys do that, we'll just kind of share what we've been up to or what we have coming up that you guys could look out for. Megan, I would like to go to you first to let the people know what have you been up to, where can they find you, and anything else that you would like to share.
Yes, well, we've been creating lots on Instagram, and lots to come still for our podcast, and creating different formats that can be repurposed in multiple different places. So that's playing around with new tools and stuff to create more variety, and always here to help you create better content in less time, get found by your ideal person, increase your engagement to build that strong community, and help you get seen on your social media while having fun creating content, because that's so important and so forgotten about, right? We all get frustrated, but if we're not having fun, then what's the point? So I'm always here, slide into my DMs if you have any questions.
Yes, make sure you guys follow Megan. The screen name is on the screen right now, but if you want to get connected with Megan, go to the links in the description. You will find her YouTube channel as well as her Instagram account. Also, go there and check it out. Join her community as well as our incredible moderator, IG Live with Angela. You guys, for those that are watching live, you are in the live chat with her. She is moderating our incredible conversation going on with all of you guys. So go ahead and check out her link as well. It's also in the description, as well as mine. If you haven't joined us yet, I would love for you to check out my community on either YouTube or Instagram. Both would be preferable, but it's up to you ultimately. I'll share. Okay, we got one question before I jump into what I'm sharing. Greg asks, have we started experimenting yet in regards to what we're talking about with SEO on Instagram? Um, I wouldn't even have said experimenting. I feel like, Megan, we've been kind of doing SEO for Instagram since since ever. I can't even tell you like when I started. I've always been doing it, whether it's been optimizing the title or using the keywords. If you want to, you can even go back as far as when we used to use hashtags for particular reasons of search and discovery on Instagram. So a lot of those practices that we've been doing, they're just as applicable for being found via these search engines. Not all, but most. Even I don't think you've mentioned it, Megan, but even like alt tags. I feel like alt tags would be a high priority now to consider because search engines definitely love to get that type of information as well for disability use in regards to finding information. But how about you? How would you answer the question? I'll read it once again. Greg wants to know, have we started experimenting yet with SEO on Instagram that'll lead to being found on Google?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something necessarily I would say, like you mentioned, Heston, that I'm experimenting with it. It's something I've been putting into practice for a while now, just making sure that Instagram itself was able to categorize my content to my target audience. But it is something I think moving forward, sometimes I'll do reels that are like funny about my target audience and the struggles we have, or very relatable. And in the caption, I might say, like, just please tell me I'm not the only one. But here, moving forward, I might say something like, please tell me I'm not the only one that struggles with Instagram glitches, like making sure to add in a little bit more. So again, not keyword stuffing, but just trying to make sure the caption, the text on screen, everything, anywhere I can add keywords, I'm adding keywords.
Smart. Smart. I think that's the way that we kind of go about it. Use them very strategically and not rampant with it just all over the place and it don't make sense.
Right.
Yeah, so I hope
Great
that answers
question.
your question. For myself, what am I up to? I have two things for those that don't know. I specialize in Manychat DM automation on Instagram. Well, I say Instagram, but it also does work on Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp. It does work on TikTok outside of the US. So if you want to be a client outside of the US, I'm more than glad to take you on. But right now, I have two things. That's one that's already out and one that is coming out that you may be interested in. If you want to learn a little bit more about DM automation, make your life a little bit easier, save some time, work smarter, not harder with chatbots. At the moment, right now, I have an Instagram subscription that is available for you guys at a very, very low cost of $1. It is for a limited time offer. It's $1 per month. And on this subscription, I'm teaching you pretty much the full potential of ManyChat. Most people use ManyChat just to send links. I'm teaching you how to use it to optimize those automations to send links and so much more, including building a mailing list on and off Instagram. So if you're interested to learn more about ManyChat from like a content point of view in regards to what I'm sharing with you guys, I I share a lot in the DMs. I share a lot in the broadcast channel. I share a lot in IG stories, all within my IG subscription. So go ahead and check it out. The best way for you to check it out is to go ahead to my profile and tap the subscribe button. You might need to follow first, but join the community, and then you'll see the subscribe button, and you can check it out there. And I even have a preview. If you don't want to join, if you want to say I don't know if it's worth it or not, I have a preview post. If you're using ManyChat, that will save you money immediately. You can take that money and then put it into the IG subscription. All right, guys.
Right.
So go ahead and check that out. The
Yes,
other thing
yes.
that I have coming, the other thing that I have coming, I'm working on a brand new ManyChat template. Uh, Most people use templates from ManyChat directly, and they're great to just quickly get set up. But there's a lot that they could do that they are not doing to make your life a little bit easier and make it more optimized. So I have a ManyChat template coming out. It might be next week, as soon as next week that it comes out. And if you want to get it for the launch price, I won't even say what the price is. I'll just say it's cheaper than what it would normally be once the price increases. Let me know. Slide into the DMs. I'm going to make the full actual announcement later this week or next week. But go ahead. I have that coming out as well too. So anything with ManyChat, DM automation, slide into the DMs. I'm your boy. Let me know what you would like to talk and how I can best help you.
Yes, that's very exciting. Congrats on the new template. And guys, the subscription, I'm telling you, it's so worth it. When he launched it, the day, like I was in there, and right away, so much more value. It's like an entire, like, I don't even say masterclass, it's an entire course, like, but in bite-sized pieces for you to be able to just walk away that day and go implement. So definitely check that out.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't see any other questions. I did see one comment and I want to read. It is a good point. Also, remember that ChatGPT also searches Google. Very interesting addition
Mhm.
to that. And I have heard, I don't know about you, Megan, but I've heard a few people say that they've gotten leads from ChatGPT lately. They're getting more leads from that being
Oh.
discovered on AI. So even the news that OpenAI, which owns ChatGPT, they're considering purchasing or building their own search engine. So this might be even more important in a couple of weeks to months from an AI point of view. We might have to revisit the same topic with, instead of just a pure search engine from Google, maybe one built from an AI company like OpenAI. You never know.
Yes, very interesting. Oh.
All right. Well, I think that's all that we have for today. No other questions. We thank you guys so much for joining us. If you were viewing in the live chat, thank you so much. Once again, hit the like button. Let other people discover this video that we shared here with you guys today, all about getting your Instagram more reach from Google. We shared a bunch of tips for you guys to go ahead and actually utilize today, right now. So I hope that you guys actually do. As Megan said, if you have any questions in regards to what we discussed, any of the things that we discussed here today, please let us know. Slide into our DMs. We would love to help you out in any way that we can. And hopefully, you come and join us for our next episode of the Social Roundtable. We do this every Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we would love for you to join us. So we definitely thank you for joining us here today. Once again, thank you to Angela, our moderator. We definitely appreciate your presence here in the live chat. And if you guys have anything else to share, if you're watching the replay, go into the comments and let us know what you would like to talk about. We'll always be responding. All right, guys. Until next time, take care. Have a great one, and we'll see you in the future. Bye, guys.
I am good.